everybody. I am Eric Howard, the Executive Director of Outreach Incorporated, and on behalf of the ministry, thank you very much for coming out this evening, and Merry Christmas to every single one of you. I'd like to introduce an amazing young woman that heard about our mission and became intimately involved and did an amazing project for us by creating a sacred space in our chapel. I'd like to introduce Amber Kriech, who will tell you about that. Amber?
Thank you. This is what you get for being short.
You all right?
Please, thank you.
You make me look bad.
No, I appreciate your help. See, she agrees. Okay. Well, thank you all for coming tonight. It's a great crowd. Mother Teresa once said, being unwanted, unloved, uncared for, forgotten by everybody. I think that is a much greater hunger, a much greater poverty than a person who has nothing to eat. Today, there are 29,000 homeless youth in Indiana that feel this way. They don't have the basic living necessities we often take for granted. They aren't surrounded with loving friends and family, and they wonder when they'll get their next meal or where they will sleep. The reality that these 29,000 homeless youth have to live with and face every day brought alive my passion and dedication for this issue. It led me to transform Outreach's 450 square foot attic into an educational and spiritual life center with a training conference area, private meeting room, chapel, self-help, faith, and inspirational libraries for my Girl Scout Gold Award. Every day, the center is used for studying, training, life skills classes, counseling, support groups, and spiritual growth. Here's a short video about my project, produced by WFYI, that was shown at this year's Lieutenant Governor's Leadership Luncheon. I had been doing a lot of different research about different community centers and places for my Gold Award. When I found about outreach through church, I came here and kind of scoped it out a little bit, talked to some people, and really had no idea that there was anything such as youth homelessness, and that really struck me because you don't think about kids being on the streets alone.
Outreach works with homeless youth and young adults from 14 to 24. We do in-house case management, trying to help them exit street life. By helping them, connect with the resources they need to move from being homeless to, having a more stable life.
Amber approached Outreach, asked me, what's our dream here? And we had dreamed for a long time about having a holy space of quiet and prayer and somewhere where we could have quiet meetings with our youth. And so when we showed this unfinished attic to Amber, she had this idea and confidence within herself that I can take this on.
I don't know, I think it was all spiritual and a connection of just this was the right thing, and so I decided to come back. I got measurements one day and then took those to my house and made a floor plan on my computer, and then went to Menards and Lowe's and talked about materials, the best way to go about construction stuff, since I didn't know anything about that. I was so lucky to have a lot of great people to be able to listen to and willing to help.
Amber recruited over 40 volunteers that put in over 2,000 hours of volunteer work, along with the 500 hours that she put in herself, plus over 40 donors. So it was an army of people. For our clients, this space makes a huge difference, and there's just all these visual pieces around that are encouragement, that give hope. For a lot of our kids, they don't have much hope.
I'm so glad it's being used, and I know that it's really benefiting a lot of different people, even if I'm not here to see it. Outreach has programs, one called GOAL, which is Graduation, Occupation, Address, and Lifestyle. Being more of an advocate for issues and for Girl Scouts is kind of my new step, and I'm really enjoying that. I think it's really cool for me, and it's been growing and kind of helping me decide what I might like to go into when I'm older. Hearing what a difference my center was making and realizing that faith in God and education is what will help these youth exit street life inspired and motivated me to go to the National Christian Foundation and set up the Youth for a Different Tomorrow Educational Fund. In addition, I have made it my mission to create awareness about this issue, making presentations to local and statewide community groups and meeting with influential public figures such as Senator Richard Lugar, Mayor Greg Ballard, Tony Dungy, and Ann Ryder. I have been blessed to experience and witness what can happen when people find an issue that touches their heart. Every volunteer and donor involved in my project gave part of themselves because they cared about these homeless youth and wanted them to have the chance to exit street life and become faithful and educated members of our society. Tonight, you can make this same choice. There's a saying that goes, to the world you may be one person, but to one person you may be the world. There are 29,000 homeless youth in Indiana that need you, and giving even only a small part of yourself to help them will make a difference. Thank you.
This is what you get for being tall.